So when I'm focused on that part of my life, I'm gonna read the books, I'm gonna take the classes, I'm gonna spend the time, I'm gonna give the encouragement, I'm gonna give the training because this is important. This is part of my life portfolio, right? What else? I want to also be healthy because if I get old and fat and sick, then big pharma is going to come along and take all the money I made anyway. So to protect my wealth, I'm going to make sure I go to the gym and go, run a 5K every now and then and do some jumping jacks and do things that are going to keep me healthy, so that I don't just lose everything to big pharma, because it doesn't make sense to acquire all that wealth just so they can take it all back, right? And so in that area, I'm going to be really ambitious. And then you make room for the wealth drive, like the paper chase, right? Money's fun. Money is so much fun. I'm telling you, I've had some and it's nice, man. I stayed at the I'll see this bottle here is this, you can't see it, but there's a little logo. It says Waldorf Astoria. Has anybody ever stayed at the Waldorf? Oh my God, I stayed at the Waldorf. I'd never done it before. And I just saw that big, pretty building. I said, I want to stay there, man. I want to go to, and I went there. And let me tell you, that place is, first of all, it's the most expensive shit I've ever, like, I've stayed in a lot of hotels in the course of my life. When I would get invited to speak places and stuff, I've seen some pretty amazing stuff. But like the Waldorf, I looked at the cost and I said, "Oh my God, this is insane. Who pays this much to stay in a hotel?" But I did it. I did it because I was like, I want to have this experience. And there's a rich history and all this other stuff. Like I watched a whole documentary about Conrad Hilton and how he built his Hilton empire. And he wanted to get the wall. He had a picture of the Waldorf Astoria on in his office, and it said the greatest of them all. And that was the hotel he wanted to acquire. That was going to be his big prize. And let me just tell you, it was an amazing experience. And what separates places like the Waldorf is like the customer service. Like they will literally do whatever you need them to do, like when you need them to do it. I never I asked the lady at the desk, I said, "Where's the bathroom?" She said, "Let me walk you to the bathroom." And the lady walked me to the bathroom. I thought she was gonna go in with me. I was like, "Are you gonna wipe me?" I was like, "Well, you can't do that. That's nasty." And so anyway, but it was like that. Like I was like this, and I told Alicia, I said, "This lady walked me to the bathroom. Like who does that?" So anyway, so money is cool, right? My point is to say money is cool. I hope you have lots of it. I want you to be blessed with it. But I want you to really understand the balance piece because what happens if you don't have balance is that you get a lot of money and you have nothing to invest in, right? Like if you get a bunch of money and nobody loves you and because you haven't nurtured any relationships and there's nothing in your life that's meaningful outside of your career, then what are you gonna do with all that money? I mean, what are you gonna do? Go buy another car? Well, that's gonna wear off. All the studies show that the acquisition of material possessions does nothing for you after you've had like some nice stuff. You get about two, three cars, then you start getting bored. It doesn't have the same effect. You can buy another house, take another vacation. All that gets old. Every bit of it. Every bit of it. Deion Sanders is a great example of that. Deion Sanders was making millions of dollars playing for the Cowboys, had the biggest contract I think ever signed by a Cowboy at the time because he was that great of a player, and he was suicidal. Like why would you want to take your own life if you have everything that everyone dreams of? Well, because money without a purpose is very empty. It's a very empty experience. And so that balance kind of allows you to have purpose. If you got this extra interest, these other things that drive you, you got family, you got your church maybe. Some people, Dion found his purpose with church, right?